Happy Days was a sitcom about everyday life in the 1950s, designed to play into the nostalgia of the era with a cast of characters people could relate to whether they grew up during the portrayed time or not. A few seasons into the show, the character Fonzie was well liked enough to start to get main billing, and a few seasons later, Fonzie jumped over a shark while wearing jet skis and his trademark leather jacket. This is not a relatable experience for anyone who grew up in the 50s. Jumping the shark refers to a moment in a long-running show's life that marks the beginning of a show's decline in quality. It is a moment that marks a fundamental shift in tone for the series, or at least a representation of one. Because usually a show does not get worse all at once, unless circumstances outside of the writer's room occur, like somebody leaving. A show doesn't cease to be good because a character jumped a shark, but rather, a character jumped a shark because the show stopped being good. It isn't always obvious when a show has jumped the shark. In fact, it's usually impossible to tell at the moment, as these shark jumps often happen at the height of a work's popularity. Happy Days ran for another 7 seasons after the shark jumping stunt, and at the time, the stunt was a high ratings draw. It wasn't until the show finally went off the air that people began to point to it as the exact moment where the show began its decline. But the decline is still there, as once you jump over a shark on water skis, the wholesome family values and depiction of everyday life stop being believable, and the writers are now pressured to one-up the absurdity of the moment. Jumping the shark is sometimes referred to as nuking the fridge, though the latter term is usually more for series that have stretched to the limits of believability, to the point that the audience is no longer willing to play along with the fantasies.